Hey everyone, this is Developer Ashish, and today we're gonna make a very interesting project based on coronavirus. That is coronavirus detection using chest X-ray images. And in this project, we're gonna use transfer learning method. I'm gonna tell you what is transfer learning. Okay, so this project is also very beginner friendly project. That means any beginner can do it without any worries because I have explained every single line of code just like my previous tutorials. Okay, so these are basically images of chest x-rays of a normal person and of the person having coronavirus. Okay, we have a data set. This project was done by Mona Lisa, the same person who did COVID-19 data analysis project. So you can find this notebook in her GitHub profile, and I'll give you the link in the description of this video. So let's see the data we have. The COVID means the person having coronavirus. You can see that his chest ray images is basically, you can see little whitish color. Okay, little whitish. You can easily differentiate. So we're gonna make a CNN model to classify between normal chest ray images and the person having coronavirus. So you can just find out if the person is having coronavirus or not just by analyzing their chest ray images. See, so we have the data, and then what we're gonna do, we're just gonna import some libraries and do pre-processing task and everything. And then we're gonna use our transfer learning method. Let me tell you what is transfer learning method and what is VGG16. Okay, so like see, this is the architecture we're gonna make, and then we're gonna train, and then we're gonna predict, and then we're gonna just you can see we can plot training loss, validation log, training accuracy, validation accuracy, and then we can predict on single image also if the person is having coronavirus or not. Okay, so first of all, what is transfer learning? Transfer learning is basically, so you can see in this website, transfer learning is basically a pre-trained model. Okay, pre-trained model which someone has already trained in thousands of classes. Okay, so this transfer learning model has the knowledge of thousands of classes, and that means it can obtain the knowledge of new class very easily. You can see this is the traditional method. Okay, if you want to train your neural network from scratch, then this traditional method is applied. So transfer learning is basically model to learn from. Okay, model learns from one type of problem, and then the learning is applied to solve a different but related problem. Okay, like classification of images. Any model which has been trained for thousands of classes can easily be trained and can be find a good accuracy, a better accuracy in a new class when we train a new class. Okay, so that means we are not going to make neural network from scratch. Okay, we are not going to use new CNN. We're going to use our pre-trained model, okay, to obtain the knowledge of these chest ray images so that it can classify between normal person X-ray images and coronavirus person X-ray images. And we're going to use VGG architecture. Okay, see, VGG is very simple. VGG16 is very simple CNN architecture. It is having Convo 1 and C. Conventional 1, and see the first block of Convo 1 layer. Okay, the 1 and 2, this is the first block. Second block of Convo, okay, 2D. Then third block of Convo. Okay, this is having 3 layer, this is having 3 layer. So, and this pooling. Okay, so 2, 4, 7, 10, 13, and then at last 3 dense layer. So total there are 3 layers, so this is why it is known as VGG16. We're gonna remove the last layer, which is the top layer. Okay, because it is having knowledge of thousands of classes. Okay, so it's gonna predict according to that, and we're gonna remove that, and we're gonna add our own we're gonna add our own little two layers. Okay, a dense layer, we're gonna add flatten layer, then dense, then a dropout, and then at last two output layer. Okay, these two, so that it can be trained according to our requirements. Okay, we are not going to train this much layer. Yes, we are not going to train this much layer. We are only going to train only the last layer which we gonna add. See, suppose that this is a VGG model, and suppose that there are two outputs. Okay, in this I got one more. Okay, but okay, suppose this is a VGG model. Okay, this is pre-trained weights. Okay, this is pre-trained weights. We are not going to train them. This is gonna work as feature extraction. Okay, like see the images, see that it's gonna extract every pixel from this image. Okay, from every image, and gonna store it. Okay, and we're gonna remove last layer, and we're gonna add our own layer, and we're gonna fine tune those layer according to this pre-trained weights, pre-trained layers. If you don't know what is CNN, if you don't know anything about deep learning, watch some theories like what is weights, biases. Okay, so that you can learn it very easily. So we just gonna train our last layer, and how we gonna train, we will see further. Like for layering, v model dot layers, layer trainable is equals to false, means do not train the pre-trained weights, only we gonna train the last layers. Okay, we're gonna add two outputs. Here it is showing one. We're gonna add two outputs, and we're gonna fine tune those layers only. So this is called transfer learning. Okay, means when you have a model which has been already been trained for hundreds of classes, thousands of classes, to train for a new class, we're gonna use that exact model, because that model already know how to extract features, how to extract the shapes, the edges, the colors and all. So training on them is very easy. Okay, and why transfer learning is the future? Because if you see what Andrew Ng says about transfer learning, basically this, I will again show you in the ongoing tutorial. Transfer learning will be the next driver of ML success. Simple. Okay, so that's why transfer learning is very, very important. So I gave you a brief idea about like what we're gonna do, what are the data sets, and in the data sets we have 100 images of COVID, and 100 images of normal person, just X-ray. Okay, and we're gonna do data augmentation. You know why we do data augmentation? To generate more data. Okay, by doing some random stuff. I'm gonna explain you. Then of course, we're gonna train and we're gonna predict. Okay. And I told you what is VGG 16. You can use ResNet model also. You can use VGG 19 also. If you see now, like pre-trained Keras models. Okay, see this. See, and I'm sorry for the noise behind me. Okay, so in the Keras you can see we are using VGG 16 model. Okay. And you can use exception, VGG 19, ResNet 50, mobile net, whatever you want. Okay, whatever you want. We just gonna use like this, and this is like how we gonna use and all. Okay, and how we gonna remove the top layer, I will tell you. Like include top is equals to false. Okay, and you will learn many things. So let's start. Watch full tutorial, do your own, means watch full tutorial, practice along with me. Okay, you're gonna learn a lot of things. Let's start. Okay, so let's start decoding, and first of all we gonna simply import our matplotlib.pyplot as plt. Okay, then we're gonna import from TensorFlow. Basically we're gonna import this image data generator which is 16, as I explained why, and some of the layers, okay, and model Adam for optimization, and then two categorical label binarizer as I explained, and train test split. Okay, so basically from TensorFlow.keras.applications, okay, write it with me, work with me dot application which is 16. Oh, not 16, it's 16, and oops, copy, it's pre-processing dot image, and we're gonna import image data generator to generate more image generator. Okay, so we have imported with this 16, we have imported image data generator to generate more image, and now some of the layers from TensorFlow.keras.layers, we're gonna import average pooling to the, okay, then simply I'm gonna copy this 2 3 4 5. Okay, I'm gonna import dropout. Let's see if we're gonna use dropout or not. Flatten layer, okay, because at the end, at the top layer, we're gonna make our own custom layer. Okay, in that pre-trained VGG layer, we're gonna make our own custom layer. Okay, dense, and we're gonna import input. Okay, like what is input, I'm gonna tell you soon. And not layers, here is gonna be models, import model. You will see what is its use. Sorry, let's import optimizers. Okay, optimizers, and we will import Adam optimizer. Utils, import. If you are not if you are absolute beginner, then still be with me. You're gonna learn almost everything. I will try to explain almost everything I can. Means from a beginner point of view, you're gonna learn everything. Label binarizer to split the data. Like for corona, we gonna have I think for corona, for normal see, for corona just we gonna have label 10. CNN model or any machine learning model, or anything doesn't understand the text label, so we need to convert that text into label. Okay, so for corona type, okay, we gonna have 10, and for normal chest images we're gonna have 01. Okay, so that's gonna be done using label binarizer. And from sklearn dot model selection, we're gonna import what last one, train test split. Let's run this if we made any mistake. From TensorFlow, okay, unknown location. Why? Image data JENA. Let me try solve this. Oh, how can I make this mistake? This one I wrote it in capital forms. Okay, so we have imported our libraries, and let's see where is the data set. Okay, let's define the data set form. Data set equals to, where is our data set? So in this folder we have data set, and so in this folder we have the data set, and see, as you know, data set, and R, because Python takes everything in the forward slash. Okay, and we have backend slash, so we don't want to do forward like for everything, so just let's put R. Okay, and let's see, look at the data set COVID-19. The chest X-ray images actually looks like this. Okay, like a little whitish color, you know, little whitish they have become. See, I saw something strange, I think some earphone types of thing, I don't know. Okay, and for normal, see, there is no whitish color. Okay, it's just a clear chest ray images, no whitish color is there that much. So, and see here in coronavirus one, in like see, okay, kind of. So we just gonna we have imported the data set, and we just gonna make the model to differentiate between this. Initial learning rate gonna be your LE minus 3 means what? 1E, sorry, it's LE. Okay, means learning rate, you can even learn about it, like what is learning rate in in neural network, then you will understand here. Okay, let me try to. Actually, learning rate is just basically how fast or slow your model learns. Means learning rate, I hope you can understand as a beginner point of view. 3E minus 4 is the best learning rate for Adam. Many articles you will find with a different learning rate approach. Okay, like this. So learning rate is just basically in machine learning studies, the learning rate is tuning parameter in optimizing algorithm that determines the step size at each iteration while moving toward a minimum of loss function. Means it's just like you can say the in beginner's language, the speed of learning any kind of thing. Okay, that's what a learning rate means, how fast or slow it's learning. Okay, and epochs is just how many times you want your CNN model to go through the images. Okay, like how many times the same image should be checked by your model. Simple. So 10. Batch size 8 means in one batch. Okay, when you throw your batch of images to CNN model, how many image you want to throw at once? It's 8. Okay, like that. So LE, it's, I think LE is not defined. Am I doing something wrong here? Guys, it is 1E. Okay, I wrote it LE by mistake, but it is 1E. Okay, I wrote it LE earlier, and LE is not defined, but 1E. Okay, it's 1E. Okay, so now the next thing is, like we have imported our data set here, but see, let me close this. But see, we need to. I will come to you what is arc function means, what we are doing here. Okay, but we need to extract the data, right? We have the data set, but we need to extract it and store the images in data list and store the labels. It is a normal, means the label is normal and COVID now. this is the label COVID and normal, and these are the images. Okay, so to store the images features here in data and labels here. Okay, so we're just gonna write the program for that. Import numpy. Okay, you know it is used for computational tasks, and we're gonna import cv2 and ipaths is equals to list, and paths dot list means we are defining right now that this this one should basically go into that folder and extract those data. Okay, list of images in the data set. Okay, and there we go. Now we need to define an empty list to extract, to store our images data, you know, the feature of images here, and its labels here. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we want to extract those data. Okay, like see, these are the labels, COVID and normal. The name is the label, and under that are the data. These are images. These images are the data. Okay, these images are the data, and this COVID and normal is the label. Okay, and we want to extract that and want to store in this in the images in this data list. Okay, and labels in this list. Okay, so for ipath in ipaths, we're gonna have label is equals to label. This is label. Okay, we have label is equals to ipath dot split into two parts, because they have two parts, the COVID folder and normal folder. OS dot, we have not defined OS, we need to define it. Import OS. Okay, and let's say, okay, separate into two parts. Now this was about label. Okay, this was about label. What we're gonna do is labels dot append and label. Okay, I'm gonna show you, don't worry. Now it's time for data, that is images. So image cv2 dot I am read that ipath. Okay, and read both of the folder, right? Go to ipath and split into normal and COVID and read all the images. Okay, and convert it into cv2 dot cvt color, convert all this thing of image. Okay, into cv2 dot, this is just a normal you can say pre-processing thing. Okay, they are in means from the format of bgr to rgb. Okay, just a pre-processing chart. Don't think much. It's just a pre-processing task of converting color or from bgr, blue, green, red, to rgb. Okay, don't give your brain energy to this. Okay, just go with the flow. Image equals to cv2 dot no, let me show you by running this. Okay, then we're gonna go further what happened till here. Okay, see, expected string bytes or OS path like object not list. Okay, means it is saying this data set is like this. Okay, in a list, it should be in a like a dictionary form. Okay, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna have like this. Okay, in the dictionary form. Let me show you what I mean. Let me name a dictionary args. This is the empty dictionary right now. Okay, this args is just an empty dictionary, and let me in a dictionary you have data set, the key, and you can name anything like data directory or data set. Let me name it data set, the key, and the values. What should be the value? This should be the value. This should be the value. What is the data set? This should be the value. Okay, So now if you run this now, if you run this now see this dictionary data set, okay, and these are its values. Okay, so that means from here we're gonna call data set key from args, even though it has only one key, data set only. Okay, it just have one key, okay, and one value means. So but still, like, we need to write it like we are calling one key, one particular key named as data set from args. Okay, let's run this and see. Okay, now see what is the image right now. What is the image right now? Okay, these are the image, means those image. See, whenever you write cv2.imread, it will not only read, but it will convert your every image into array form. Why it need to convert it into numerical form, or you can say array form? Why? Because your model doesn't know how to read image. Okay, it have pixel values. Okay, your model will need pixel values, right? You will give your model an image to train, it will not train it. Okay, it needs to be converted into, all the pixels need to be converted into, those numbers. The model needs those numbers, all the pixels needs to be converted into array. Okay, so you can consider that this might be your first image, just for an example. Okay, just for an example, it's a dot dot dot. Let's see your, if, okay, it from 0, like image, this might be possible that this is I'm calling, and that image has been converted into array. This is a very necessary step, because of course your model needs numerical form, because it's a machine, it understands in a numerical way. Okay, if you give image, it will not understand. So that's what we are doing till now. Okay, we called label and we converted those images. Okay, we called label, this is a separate thing, and this is a separate thing of image. We converted those images into numpy array here with imread function, and we just did convert images into RGB channel. Tell me in the comments, is this step is necessary or not? Okay, is this step is necessary, or what is the spelling, I don't know, sorry, or not? Okay, like converting from BGR to RGB, why? Okay, why? Let me know. I don't know. Okay, seriously, means of course I know, but I want you to answer now. Image is equals to, and please seriously let me know. Okay, why? Image equals to, now what we need to do is we need to resize it. Okay, let me first show you what does I mean. Let's just see the shape. This is the shape before resizing it. Why we need to resize it? Because when you will give your model, like, see, this is your CNN model. Okay, every image size should be same. My PC is running on slow bit. Okay, I just I'm charging my laptop. Okay, so every image size should be same, because your model, it will just not take different size images. See, every image size is different. Okay, and we need them to be in a same particular size, so that the training of the model gets easier. Okay, because different sizes of images will, it's just not allowed. Okay, it's confusing to the model. Okay, you can also Google search why resizing the images is necessary before training. I don't know if what they will show. uh, impact of image resizing, you can learn anything. Okay, so we are resizing it to 224 by 224 because it's a good size. Like see, it's a good size. They are you can do anything. Okay, I have done projects of dogs versus cats classification, and I have done 80 by 80 size. Okay, 80 by 80 by 1, that was grayscale image. Okay, this is a colored image, so it's gonna be like 3 dimension. Okay, so you can do anything, you can just experiment it and learn in a much better way. Okay, so we're gonna have, and every image should be the same size so that training gets easier, and your model needs only one particular sized image. Okay, not different. So 256, so we're gonna go for, so CV2 dot resize of image, resize of like how image, and we are storing this here. Okay, first we converted into array, stored it in image, then we converted from BGR to RGBG, stored it in image, and now we are resizing it and storing it in the image again. 224 by 224, and alright, now let's see. It's gonna be different. Okay, and we'll see, it's 224 by 224 by 3. Why? Because it's a colored image. If it's a grayscale image, it's gonna, it would have been like 224 by 224 by 1. Okay, now let's append this data. Means right now the data is empty. See, the data is empty. Okay, and so does the labels. Okay, let's store them there. Data dot append, how you store in the list by append method. Means this data, means this list gonna go append by image, means all the images in that path which is already been converted into array, converted their color order, and gets resized. All the images gonna get stored here. Okay, data dot append, we are appending it every image. Okay, list comma by comma, and labels dot append by home by label this label. Okay, so now see what we're gonna do here. It's running. See, data is this. Okay, these are the data and these are the labels. Right. Okay. But we need two more things here. We need to do two more things here. Okay, see, labels dot append. What label we do we need? Basically -1 -2. Okay, see here. Okay, first see in the data, see the size. Okay, neural networks should not take this much size of data. 133, see the size different. 93, 133, 55, 46. Okay, we need these pixels to be, these elements should be in a particular range. Okay, just in a particular range. Their values will not get changed. Okay, the values there, the data they are holding will not get changed, but look at the size. Okay, the size should be small only. Okay, not the values but the size. So what we're gonna do means the data they are holding will not get affected, but the size, okay, that needs to be small. Okay, and it should not also affect you can say their data, and the size should be small so that it can fit into CNN model very easily. Okay, array like numpy.array, how numpy, the mathematical calculations and all, means that is done using numpy library. Okay, numpy array and data. Okay, data, we need to divide everything by 255 because maximum pixel value is 255 of any image. Minimum is I think 0 or whatever. Okay, 0 or 1, sometimes I don't know. From 1 to 255. Okay, so see the maximum value they are going like 247, but maximum value is C. Okay, so maximum value is basically 255 of any image. So we are dividing every pixel from 255. Okay, every pixel. Okay, it we ran it and see now. Okay, see this and you gonna see the difference. Okay, see every pixel got divided with 255. Okay, so just see it's now everything under 0 point, so see the data they are carrying is you can say very small. Okay, but sorry, the data they are sharing, they are carrying is not affected, but only the size got smaller. Okay, so only size got smaller, and look at the labels. Okay, we don't need anything here, we just need this label COVID. Okay, and if you go bottom, we gonna have for normal also. See normal. So how we gonna do is we just basically need these two now. This oh sorry, it's not, should be like it's not gonna see. We just basically needs like here labels should numpy dot array. Okay, uh, no, not here. Let me show you. Okay, this is the later step. First here we just need, when we are storing the when we are storing when we are getting the labels. Okay, sorry about that. When we are getting the labels, this normal and COVID. Okay, we are getting, and we are getting like this now. We just need this one. So what we're gonna do, y minus 2 is basically when indexing starts, when you're talking about reverse now, indexing starts from 0 if you are going forward, but when you are going reverse, okay, indexing start like -1, -2, -3. So we just need -2 now. We just need -2 from, like, see, from every set of you can say path. We just need this -2. Okay, from here also. So we gonna store -2 in labels, and eventually it's gonna get append into labels. Okay, let's run this. And see, now let's run this. See, now we have only two labels, COVID and normal. Okay, last thing is why we need to convert it into numpy array, because simple labels is equals to numpy dot array labels. It means convert those labels into numpy array and store this in labels. Okay, this was already into numpy array, but we just called it. Okay, so because 255 needs to be in numpy array also. I don't know. It just divide it, and it should be numpy array, so we just called it. So labels. Now let's see what difference. See, it is now in the array form. Array is written. Why? Because when your x, x and y, x is your image data. When your image data is in array form, your labels y should also be in array form. Okay, so everything is done from here. From here everything is done. Okay, now we just, if you want to see this now, like this is the code. Okay, now see, if you want to see your images like this now, here is a simple code. I'm not gonna write it. Okay, I'm just gonna explain it because this is not important. Okay, this is important for data analysis, but we have more important things to cover, and so just to save time, okay, just see. After importing matplotlib and cv2sk image, okay, here plotter, you just gonna read the data directory, which is the data set, you can say. Okay, I just name data set. Earlier I named it data directory, so I'm sorry about that. Let me explain what is this. Okay, so read data set. From data set, these are till here the data is there. Okay, and data set we need to write it like this and like this, this like this. Okay, this. So from dataset, go through the normal, that normal folder, and read all the images, resize it. Why we need to resize? Why we need to import resize here? Because we are using SK image and it does not have resize like this, so we are importing like this. Okay. Even though we don't need to import, we can directly do this. Sorry about that. Okay. If you are doing this, we don't need that. Normal, resizing it into 150 by 150 by 3 just to see here. Okay, and seeing coronavirus, this was for the normal, this one. Okay, this was just to see the normal. Now we need to see the coronavirus thing. Okay, coronavirus test. So same thing we are doing here. Okay, now make the pair. Okay, so np concatenate normal with coronavirus axis 1 means C. Normal with coronavirus. They are in the pair. Okay. They are in the pair. They are in the pair. They are in the pair. Okay. And print normal chest X-ray versus COVID chest ray. Okay. Plot figure size should be this. I am just show the pair. plt.show, For I in range 0 to 5. Okay. Just show 5 images. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes. So in 6. 0 to 5. Okay. 4, 5. Yeah, they are saying 5 images. Okay, that's all. So this was not so important, so I just explained to save time. Let's if you get any sort of doubt, you can ask me. Okay. N images is not defined. What is N images, by the way? Yep, these are the N images. Coronavirus images is just data set plus this. They go through data set. This is for coronavirus images, this is for normal. Okay, so let me put it here only. See, alright, so we put it C images and N images. So read from data sets. Okay, like normal, this is the path. Okay, and this is the list directory, whatever you are writing. Okay, like go to in those normal images and resize it. Okay, resize the normal into 150 by 150 by 3. Go for this for coronavirus for same. Okay, pair them and show them. Okay, print this and show them. That's all. See, this is normal, this is coronavirus. Okay, see the difference. In normal we can see clear chest images, in coronavirus not. Okay. Let's move forward to okay, now the main thing is in label. C, what I told you just before, like some minutes before that, model can't take anything in the text form or in the images form. It need those numbers. So for images we have those numbers, for labels we don't have. So we need labels. Let's say for COVID you can give 0, for normal you can give 1. Okay, see here also we have done here for coronavirus images. See the difference, you can all clearly see. 1 0 means for COVID-19 chest ray. For normal we have given 0 1. Okay, this is what we call as binarization. This label binarizer. Okay, binarization of the labels. Let's let's learn this and let's see how to do it. LB equals to label binarizer, that's how we call it. And labels, what is our labels? That COVID-19 and so label binarizer dot fit transform, that's how we transform labels and store this back in the labels. Okay, and labels equals to two categorical now what is this two categorical? It is just to convert your arrays into NumPy, your one hop encoded. Like see, what is two categorical in Keras? It is used to convert array of labeled data from 0 to np class minus 1 to one hot vector. You will see what I am saying. Okay, let me comment this and print what I mean. Print labels C 0 0 0 0 and like this one, but we wanted to convert into one hot encoding. So now see the difference. For COVID-19 one, it has converted into 1 0. Okay, and for normal it has converted into 0 1. Okay, don't run this again because it will this thing will get manipulated, and so you will need to run from here again. Okay, so let's go ahead and make our CNN model. Simple. Okay, before that we need to of course split the data into training and testing, of course. So let's split this out, see how we can split it. Train X test Y train. I will explain you what I am doing. Okay, Y test see what we are doing is here, this is our data set. Okay, of total 200 images, this is 100 and this is 100. Okay, so what we want is for 80% of the data we wanted to go for training and 20% for testing. Okay, so X train X test, Y train Y test. Let me explain you what is this. Okay, let me just write train test split, that's how we split them. Split the data. Okay, split this data, of course all the arrays. Okay, 80% for training, 20% for testing. Split labels also split. Now this is what I'm saying. X train and Y train is that image this data. Okay, labels is X test and Y test. Okay, this is like X the label of X train. X train is the data. Okay, image data. Its label is Y train. Okay, X test is that testing data, that image data. Its label is Y test. Okay, let me I don't know why I did. You can make it like anything. Okay. So X train's label is Y train and X test label is Y test. Okay. And these two are your image data. These two are your label data. Okay. So data labels, test size should what we want is test size should be 20%. That's how we write. Random is called random state is just 42. You can choose one, means it's just It's just a number. Random state 42 doesn't mean anything. Okay, it should just be non-zero. If it is a zero, then every time you shuffle, it will show you a same. Every time you run this program, run this line, it will show you same value. And if you are using non-zero, let's say 42, 1, 10, it will show you, different training data and testing data every time. Okay, means it will shuffle as a fresh data. Okay. One more parameter we are adding is Stratify. I just googled it. I paused this one and I just googled it. And Stratify is equals to labels. What is this? Is basically, see, the Stratify parameters, just try to understand. Okay, the Stratify parameter makes a split so that the proportion of values in the sample produced will be the same as the proportion of values provided to parameter Stratify. Means, for example, if variable y is a binary categorical like us, okay, variable with values of 0 and 1, and there are 20%, 25% of zeros and 75% of ones, Stratify is equals to y, means Stratify is equals to labels, will make sure that your random split, we are randomly splitting now, random split has 25% of zeros and 75% of ones, means same amount of 25%, same amount of zeros and ones, even after randomly shuffling them, should be there in your training and testing data. Okay, if let's say we have 0, 100, even though we have 0 and 100%, so in the training and testing, it should be in the same proportion. Okay, that's all. Just try to understand. This is just a basic logical thing. Okay, and why it's not working here. So, for example, see, with values, and there are 20% of 5% of zeros, 75% of ones, it will make sure that your random split has same amount of proportion of zeros and ones. Okay, same. So let's move forward. Don't worry if you are not able to understand. It's just a simple thing. Okay, where it is there. Now let's run this and see your xtrain data. Xtrain data. This is your xtrain data. Okay. This. Look at the size or the shape. Let's say xtrain data have 80%, means we have total 200 images. Okay, 80% means 160 and rest 20% means 40 images. So xtrain, for training we split it 80%. So 160 images it has, with every image is of now same size. Okay, after resizing now, and same if we look at this test. Okay, 40 images. Okay, and let's go for y train. I don't know shape. Y train. Y train is the label of xtrain. Okay, these are the labels, and I don't know why. These are the labels. See, y train. Okay, first image in the xtrain is possibly of normal, then COVID, then normal, then COVID, like this. They have split it in a randomly. Okay, in a random way. And y2 because we have two class only. Okay, 160 images of two class, normal and COVID. Same is gonna go for y test. It's gonna be 40 by 2. Same. Okay. Now let's make it training augmentation, means let's create more data. Now let's create more data. Yes, we have less number of data. Basically, we're going to create more data. Train we are naming it, and see, image data generator we're going to use. Image data augmentation is a technique that can be used to artificially expand the size of training data set. We're going to expand the size of training data set by creating modified version of images in the data set. How? We're going to modify images, means we're going to create more images by using one image. Okay, like see how image uh, data generator tab and rotation range, it's 15, means this parameter gonna rotate, you can see every image by 15%, and that 15% rotated image is our new image. So from one image we got two image. Okay, that's how. And you're gonna have fill mode is equals to nearest. Okay, it's just like after like outside boundary box is gonna fill according to like what we are giving. Okay, you can read about it, don't bang your head right now. So it's completed, and let's see what it is basically. It's just this oh sorry, no, it's not. It's just like this just a that generated image data. Okay, let's move forward to make our base means sorry to make our CNN model. What is ImageNet? Oh, now here everything every you can say important stuffs is coming right now. Okay, what is ImageNet? ImageNet is basically, you know, it has 10,000 like sorry thousands of images of most like thousands of the class. Okay, ImageNet, if you just simply search, sorry not model, ImageNet, they conduct competitions. Okay, and they have thousands of data, thousands of images of thousands of class. Okay, so pre-trained model is basically the model which has been already or which already has been trained in those images. Okay, so weights is equals to ImageNet. See and see the architecture of VGG16. Okay, just you got to understand this carefully. Okay, this is the important part. This is the architecture of VGG. Okay, if you don't know basic CNN, you can watch what is going on here. You can watch some videos of CNN. Okay, this is just this is the you can say VGG16 architecture. Okay, conventional layer 1 2 polling, and then second layer, second layer, third layer, this group of third layer, group of fourth layer, group of fifth layer. Okay, and then dense layer. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16. That's why it is called known as VGG16. This is the pre-trained model, and you can have any model like see ResNet architecture, ResNet 50. Okay, ResNet 50. This is just a mod. This is also a pre-trained model like this. Okay, you can have VGG19. So let me pre-trained models in Keras, right, like this. Okay, see top accuracy we have got of X right now, like see exception. Okay, well, we are using VGG16 because it's easy to not easy, like you know, we are just using it. Okay, you can use ResNet 50 also, VGG19 also. Okay, well, ImageNet is basically just they conduct a program. Okay, where many people with their models train on their various number of classes and gets compete with each other whose model is best. Okay, like MobileNet, Inception, VGG16. Well, so what we're gonna do? We're gonna take this pre-trained model, pre-trained CNN. We are taking this pre-trained CNN to to train it on our chest images, chest X-ray images. Means these are this all the CNNs are already been trained in various kind of classes. It might be animal and this and that. So they know, they have already fine tuned. They are already fine tuned. Okay, we don't need to train them from scratch. They are already fine tuned. See, that's the fundamental of transfer learning. Okay, we have given input. This is a pre-trained model which has been already, it is already been trained in thousands of images. Okay, thousands of classes. Our new model is there. Okay, we gonna connect our new CNN, CNN part to this pre-trained model, and we're gonna have the output of COVID or normal. So what gonna happen here is basically we are not going to train this because it has been already been trained. It's gonna act like a feature extractor. Means our images, our COVID-19 images, okay, some features, some little features, all the features, okay, all the pixels you can understand, okay, it's gonna capture here all the features, all the pixels, okay, and only this part it gonna fine tune, only this part, okay. These are already fine tuned, okay, so we will not gonna train this part, okay, which is 16. What we gonna do, we just gonna we gonna subtract this last layer, okay, we gonna remove this last layer and we gonna put our own layer, okay, because see, this VG16, okay, they have been trained for thousands of classes, but we have only two class, COVID and normal, okay. So we're gonna remove those last layer of VG16 and we're gonna add our own layer which is having two outputs, okay, and we're gonna fine tune. See, these are the weights and biases. These lines you are seeing now, these are the parameters. And if you know basic CNN, you know what is weights and biases, okay. These are their weights and biases are already trained, okay. So we just gonna fine tune our own layers, okay, our own neurons weights and biases, okay, according to our output, okay. So what's gonna happen is the features of each image, means the pixels of each image gonna get captured here and here too. Gonna get captured here easily because this model knows how to extract those features. This model has already been trained in thousands of images. So this by default knows how to extract those features, and we just need to fine tune our last layer according to this layer. So that's how we get maximum accuracy. Transfer learning is the future. You can say transfer learning is the future because let's say what Angie says, Angie says about transfer learning. If I have those image and source is this towardsdatasign.com, they say transfer learning will be the next driver of ML success because of course we are using pre-trained model which knows thousands of images, which has already been trained, which is so we don't need to start from scratch. The model not gonna learn from scratch how to drink water, how to eat, okay. Our model already know how to run, how to walk, how to dance, okay. So we just gonna fine tune our last model according to this model, and this thing gonna act as a feature extractor, okay, and we're gonna fine tune our last layer according to this layer, and only our last layer gonna get trained, okay, with all the features connected to this layer, and we're gonna get maximum accuracy in our output. Okay, I hope you understand. I hope. I can hope only. Okay. So first of all, what is basically we're gonna remove this. This is our VGG16 model. Okay. This. Let's write it now. Let's write it. How we gonna remove? We gonna see here also. Okay. Just see. Just write with me. Uh, Let me give myself some space. Base model. BMODEL. Base model gonna be for. You can also write ResNet 16. Sorry, ResNet 50. Okay. If you are using that, if you are using Inception, you can write it that too. VG16 is easy to understand, so that's why. Because see, its structure is very simple. Okay. Console layer 1, 2. Okay, and then second block, third block, fourth block, fifth block. It just have 16 layers. That's why. 16. WEIGST image nets. Image net. Okay, means this how the weights means that it has thousands of class, and we are downloading the VGG16 model, which has been already been trained in those ImageNet. You know, this is this ImageNet. So the weights name is ImageNet. Okay, which is already been trained in thousands of class. Okay. Include is equals to include top. The top layer false. We don't want to include this because again, as I said, its predicted output is you can have hundreds of classes, thousands of classes, but we just need for two class, right? COVID and normal. Okay, so we not gonna let's say just see. Let's for an example. I'm not getting any good example right now. Let's say just for example, it has 4,000. It has been trained. It got trained for 4,096 classes. Just for example. Okay, this is just a flattened layer, but I'm not getting an example. We just need for 2, na? So we're gonna remove this one, okay, and add only 2 layer at last. Okay. So this is called top layer. Okay. The last layer is the top layer basically. Top layer false. We are not going to include this. And input. What is our input tensor? Sorry, input tensor is equals to input shape. What is the shape of our input? That 224 by 224 by 3. Okay, because 3 channels we have. Base model is ready. And see input tensor. Why input tensor? Oh, it's tensor. I'm not. Where is the input? Yeah, I've already input. Okay, base model is there. Okay. Okay, guys. So let's see the summary of the model. Okay, base model. Model dot summary. See this. So, guys, as you can see that we have till block 5 max pooling like here. Okay. We don't have dense layer because we have already made it false. Okay, so we don't have that top layer. We have till here. Okay, but look at here. Total parameters is like around 1 crore 47 lakh. Okay, 47 lakh 14,688 and same amount of trainable parameters. Okay, means all this total these are the parameters, weights and biases. If you just go through the basics of CNN, you will understand what I am saying, what is base and weights and all. Okay. So, after this, if you just, these are the parameters, a total parameter. Okay. Total parameter means, just multiply this, you will get your answer. Like, just multiply this, like they are like increasing for every conventional hour. Okay. Conventional block, and then finally these are the total parameters. Okay, these are the total parameters adding up to everything. These are the total parameters. Okay, they are all trainable parameters, but what we want is, we don't want to train anything. We don't want to train this pre-trained BGG model. We don't want to do so. Okay, we don't want to train. This is already pre-trained. We want to train those layers which we gonna add now. Okay, these are already trained. These are already fine-tuned. We want to fine-tune our own layer. Okay, so means this pre-trained model just gonna act as a feature extractor. It's gonna where is my I ended right now for some reason, but okay. It's basically gonna extract these pixels, extract the features, you can say, like pixels, okay, into its pre-trained weights and biases. Okay, and it's gonna and according to that, it's just gonna fine tune our custom layer. Okay, let's add custom layers and see the difference. You wanna see the difference. Okay, now this is a base model. Okay, this is a base model, and this is a base model, and now we gonna add our own layers. Okay, so head model means that, that head model gonna be our base model dot output. So head model gonna be first one, means how we gonna connect this to this. It's like head model is equals to base model dot output. Whatever the output of the base model is, means at the last layer. Okay, at the last layer, this we have already removed, means at this point. Okay, whatever the output is total, it's gonna connect with our new head model we are making. Okay, output, and now let me explain what is average pooling and all. Average pooling 2D, pool size, I will explain you. Pool size equals to is gonna be, oops, I'll explain you, just be with me. 4 by 4 and into our head model which we want to create. And now see, okay, this is our head model we are creating. Now we are applying it the average pooling 2D. Now what is average pooling 2D? Average pooling 2D. Okay, there is a term called average pooling, and there is a term called C. You will understand right now very clearly. Yeah, from here also. See, this is our head model, base model dot output. Okay, means at this point we are applying average pooling, like see, max pooling, their pooling is there. Okay, we are applying average pooling. Average pooling, what it does is, it will take only those features. Like see, this all contains some features. Okay, feature extract, they are feature extractors. they all contains the feature, the pixels of chest images, okay, chest x-ray images. Now what this will contain, the features they are containing, okay, means the average, this layers gonna take the average of what they are containing, like this, okay. If they are containing this much amount of data, if this layer is containing this much amount of data, so see, we have defined pool size 4 by 4 here. In this image we have 2 by 2 pool size, okay. So 2 by 2, like see this, in this all matrix, okay, 2 by 2 2 by 2 pool gonna be formed, and in this 2 by 2 it's gonna take the average, okay, 0 0 2 2. So what could be the average? 1, okay. In this 2 by 2, what could be the average? 5. I hope you are understanding that between 6 4 2 8 5 gonna be the average, okay. In this 9 3 7 5 6, this 2 2 2 2, average is 2, okay. So this layer gonna get the feature of the average of previous layers, okay. And max pooling, and what is max pooling? Here we are not using max pooling, but still that max pooling will just simply take a maximum feature, like 2 here, 8 here, 7 here, 2, okay. But in average pooling it will take the average feature. And pool size is our 8, okay, means I hope you understand that our pool size is 4 by 4, not 8 basically, sorry, it's 4 by 4. So 4 by 4, okay. Now let's move forward and add a flatten layer, okay. Add a flatten layer. Let's add a flatten layer. Average pooling. Now again we are storing this in the head model again, okay. Flatten name is equals to flatten, and with whom it should get add, with previous H model, means which add model, means it's gonna get multiplied by this flatten layer. Now I hope you understand that this flatten layer is getting connected with this head model, okay. And whatever the value is, we are storing it again in head model only, okay. Same here, okay. After average pooling we stored it in head model, and same again, okay. Now after applying flatten layer, now what is flatten layer? Flatten layer, flatten layer is basically, see all the nodes, it just flattens, okay. It just flattens like let's say we have this, okay, all the data, and it will just flatten them to get the number of outputs, okay. Means according to the number of outputs. See, if I comment this, okay, and if I run this head model dot summary, tensor object has no summary. Why? Oh, I think it's flatten. Alright, listen. Oh, summary. Yeah. So let's run this, or not only run this, but we need to add more. Not flatten, but see what's happen is it just flattens your layer, okay, just like this, okay, or this one, like see, this is pooling layers, and these are the flatten layers. You have all the layers and it just flattens it, okay. So H model is equals to, we're gonna add dense layer. Now what is dense layer? It's just a fully connected layer. 64 activation. Now what is activation function? Now let me explain you. Relu H model. Now what is activation function? Or first of all we're gonna understand what is dense layer. It's super easy, really. It's like a dense layer is just regular layer, your regular layer, okay. We are just adding a dense layer of 64 units, like this. This is your regular layer, okay. That's all. And ReLU, what is activation function? Activation function is just nothing. Your every neuron is having some kind of data. Which data is of highest quality, only that will go forward and rest will not go forward. So how we decide? By using activation function. Okay, activation ReLU, like this. Activation ReLU. See, if it crosses a certain threshold, then only it will get fire and it will go forward, otherwise it will not. It's simple. Okay. So now we're gonna add a dropout layer. Out 2.5. Like, see, dropout layer is just to prevent neural networks from overfitting. Okay, like they just dropout is a technique used to prevent a model from overfitting. Dropout works by randomly setting the outgoing edges of hidden units. Okay, so means this just fine tunes your model and it prevents you from overfitting, means achieving 100% accuracy, which is not good actually. Now again a dense layer of two units. 2 units means, like, see, this is a 1 unit now. We need 2 units because we had 2 outputs, COVID-19 and normal. Okay. Model goes to dense 2, activation as softmax. Softmax and H model. Oops. H model with H model of previous layers. Okay, means till here. Now we're gonna add the last 2 output layer. I hope, like, see. Like, see, in any of this, it has 2 output layer. Okay. Now it's just gonna be model is equals to model input equals to base model dot input. What's gonna be our input? Base model dot input, and output gonna be H model. Base model is like this. H model. Okay, we got an error. Let's see. Inputs. It's input. Okay, it's in. Okay, so basically we don't need to write this. Our model is equals to model, and it's just an input. Base model is input and H model is the output. Okay. Last is, we don't want it to get trained. Okay. See, I just search for it. We don't want it to get trained. We don't want it to get trained. Okay. We just want to train this last layer. Okay. The last layer we added now, flatten layer, then dense layer, dropout layer. Okay. That last layer we want to add. We want to train. Okay. So how to stop the pre-trained model training is for layer in base model dot layer dot trainable is equals to false. Now let's see model or summary. Okay. Let's see model or summary. See, same like till here. Okay. Then I did average polling here. Okay. Then flatten layer. 512 into 1 into 1 gonna be flattened by 510. Okay. Then 64 dense layer. 64 dense layer means it might have been looking like a I don't know. I don't have any image, but it might be looking like this: a flattened layer, then suddenly this. Okay, flattened layer, then dense layer 64 of units, dropout layer 64, and then at last 2 as an output. Now see the difference. Total parameter is again 1 crore 47 lakh 47,000 650, but now only trainable parameters is only 32,000. Only the rest 1 crore 47,000 14,688 is non-trainable parameters. Okay, so that's how you can actually choose what to train, what not to train. Okay, your this pre-trained structure and all pre-trained transfer learning is giving you choice. Okay, so you better always freeze this, and this will work as a feature extraction, and remove the last layer and add your own layers, and that means only trainable parameters gonna get reduced, value is gonna be same, and we're gonna achieve more accuracy. Okay, now now this making neural network is completed, and let's move forward to whatever you like. So our training model is ready, and let's move like see. Okay, first you can actually see our like shape of X train and shape of X train. I've already shown you, no? This. Okay, well, look at this. I just want to explain you this. What is this? Okay, this is a 4x4 grid. Like see 4 images from rows and like columns. Okay, it's like just a presentation to you. Like this is for coronavirus 10. Like after label binarizer, what it has become 10 for coronavirus. See the normal images, you can easily differentiate, right? See the normal images, you can easily differentiate them. Okay, and these are the coronavirus, little whitish color. See, okay. So what we are doing here is basically just declaring with ln 4 by 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And if you know basic matplotlib, then you know how to plot subplots left grid with this 4 by 4. Figure size should be 25 by 25 only, and end training is equal to length of X train for I in numpy arrange 0 left grid into width of grid for all this, like for all this, you know, 4 into 4, so 16 images total. And then you just and how you want to display them randomly. Okay, like see coronavirus images, coronavirus image, then normal, then coronavirus. It's like random shuffling, and they've been put here. So index is equal to numpy random random 0 entering, pick a random number. Okay, then I'm just show them set title. Okay, set title why train index, like this is training images, so what you need to set title of their this okay, they are the they are the labels axis, yeah, see dot axis off. Okay, and this edge space is just space between them. If you make it 8, let's say, they're gonna look like this. Okay, so I'm just gonna copy this. I hope you understand. This is just a simple matplotlib thing, and then we're gonna focus on simple. Okay, you can differentiate. Now let's train our model finally. Okay, like sorry, let's train it finally. We're gonna start the training here. Okay, so let's write it down, and that explaining. I'm just naming it OPT, and we're gonna use Adam optimizer. What is optimizer? Optimizer is just like optimizing your data. Okay, if you know like what is optimizer. Okay. Like a person in large business whose task is to maximize profits and make the business more efficient. So I hope you get an idea. Okay, and what is Adam optimizer? So it's a kind of optimizer. Adam is an optimizer algorithm that can be used instead of the classical stochastic gradient descent produced to update network weights iterative based in training data. In a simple words, Adam is better. Okay, you have a lot of optimizers, so you can go with anyone, but go with Adam. Okay. Now learning rate, we initialized earlier. Now I init LR above decay is equals to init LR by epochs. Decay is just to like decide the learning rate and all. Okay. Now let's compile the model. Model dot compile loss will be binary cross entropy. Because we have binary means either it's 0, either it's gonna be 1. Okay, cross entropy. We have another kind of loss, that is categorical cross entropy, that is for category wise. Okay. Optimizer, we know optimizer gonna be our OPT. This one we declared here. Right? Matrix, in what matrix we gonna measure everything? Accuracy. Okay. And from here compilation will be start. Compiling starts. Print is just gonna print after. And okay. Now R, like I'm just naming it R, model dot fit generator gonna be C. Fit, model dot fit generator. It's just like this fit will start the training. Okay, so now start the training. Like what is our that training data? TRAIN. The more data we have, this and X train. Just write with me and I'm gonna explain. Y train, we have this is the training data, X train and Y train. Best size is our that we declared 10 or 8. It's like steps per epochs is equals to how many steps we want per epochs, X train divided by bs, not divided by whatever. So the length of the X train, and it's like length of the X train divided by BS. It's like steps per hypothesis. Okay. Validation data. Yeah, we need to put a comma. Validation data gonna be equals to X test and Y test, like for validation, right? Or you can say for testing. Validation steps. Oh, sorry. Steps gonna be our length of X test. I'm gonna divide it by BS, and epochs gonna be epochs, that is 10 we declared earlier. No? Let me cross check model fit. Model fit generator train augmentation dot flow X train augmentation flow X train Y train batch size steps per approach. Okay, I think everything is good. Let me try to run this. Epochs was not defined. Oh, what I have epoch? EPOCHS. Oh, it's in capital letter above. EPOCHS. Training has started. Perfect. We are reaching toward our goals. Again. So I had to, I am running this for the third time while recording. I had to close some tabs because CUDA CNN failure problem. Graphic card users will understand. Okay. Let me try to run this now. Let me try to. Now finally training is started. Finally. Okay. Till it's going on, let me again go back to where's my I should explain something like see this thing. Okay, it's like after training now you can test it. Okay, like it will predict on the X test data, and you can label, you can actually make a graph, make a subplots like this. If in the X test what is the true value and what is the predicted value. Okay, like see, in the first image the true value is yes, it has coronavirus, and the prediction is also okay. In the second image it doesn't have coronavirus, it's a normal image, 2 is equals to 0, and prediction is also equals to 0. So where the misclassification has happened, you can actually see that like this. I cannot see right now. Misclassification in any form. Here, see. Here. Okay. So basically, you just need to left 6y means 1 length 6. Okay, means 1 2 3 4 5 6, and width should be 5. 1 2 3 4 5. Not should be, not, it's not a correct word. Width is 5. Okay, figure axis, if you know basic method, plot subplots. Okay, length, width, figure size should be this. Axis equals to travel. Y prediction. Now model dot predict on X test. Predict on X test. Okay, and show for I in numpy range 0, comma length into width, that is 30 images should be shown, and show the X test images. Set title prediction is equals to, in the format of like what is the prediction here, and in the next line true. Okay, the true value. Yeah, y test arguments is one thing, and then axis of, then now plt dot subplots adjust width space is equals to 1, height space is equals to 1. Okay, like this. So let me just copy this. Yeah, training is completed, and okay, we're gonna save the model in some time. C. Okay. But in our case, see, in our case, misclassification has not happened to this image. See, it has happened to this image 10, but right now we trained. Okay, misclassification does not happen in this image. So, in which image it happened? Let's figure this out. Okay, I don't think I can see anything. Okay, okay, so we are getting good result. Now we just gonna look at the classification, you know, classification report and all. So let's write them. From sk learn dot matrix, we're gonna import what we're gonna import basically classification report. And why predict means we are just giving it a name, because whatever we're gonna predict on X test, we are naming it y predict the result. Best size was our PS, that 8. Y prid numpy dot argmax means listen, the highest value, like see, the prediction even of one single image sometimes gives 60% corona, 40% not corona. So the highest value should be printed. Means if it is 60% corona, then it has corona. Okay. Print classification report. Print its label dot arg max axis 1 means in the column. And y grid target name should be y grid np is not defined. How? Well, where is y grid np? Oh, y grid, it's not. It's like this. And got another target name. Names. It's names. Target names. Okay. See. You can see precision and of COVID and normal, the accuracy. Okay. Support this much. F1 score, recall value. Okay. Like this. We got good enough. Now let's plot this train loss and validation loss and training accuracy, validation accuracy. So the thing is plt.plot, okay, R, that R we defined now while training history. Okay, in the first graph, this is for the first graph, loss, it should be labeled as train loss. Okay, and for the second line it should be validation loss. Okay, and then it's just like plt.legend to show and save figure. You can save it. Okay, is meanwhile same in the second graph, accuracy, it should be named as training accuracy. Okay, validation accuracy, and then show it. So I'm just going to copy this. CRs. Oh, we have done some mistake, I think. See, validation accuracy, like whatever, we have done mistakes while training right now in this live. Okay, we'll figure this out. Now save our model. Okay, model.save, and where we want to save it, let's say we want to save it in here, and name it model.save h5. See, okay, you can load it anytime right now. Okay, means only last portion is remaining. Only last portion is remaining. Okay. So now let's test it on any individual image. Okay, you can make a new file or you can load it like in the same file. But if you are using apart from Jupyter Notebook anything, I think you got a need to make another new file. So in the new file you need to write import TensorFlow as TF. Okay, you got to write from keras dot preprocessing import image. Okay, then you gonna write model is equals to tf dot keras dot models dot load model. You wanna load the model. What is our model name? This. Okay, so that's how you gonna load it. Now from keras dot from keras dot applications dot vgg16 we're gonna import preprocess input. Now why preprocess input I am gonna explain. Okay, now just now let's take any individual image. Let's say this normal and we're gonna take this one. Okay, gonna copy this path and like img is equals to image dot load image dot load image. Which image we want to load? Let's say this one. Okay, sorry, what is happening? Copy and dot jpg. Okay, and I think it's in jpg format, not png. Image plot, so it's gonna show our image plot. I am show our image. Okay, okay, let's see. No such file or directory. How? That's strange. I think it's in jpg format or png. How we need to write it? Why div? No, it's not in png format. Let's go. It's in jpeg. For normal, what is they written? jpeg. Yeah, it was showing jpeg also. My mistake. I'm sorry. Yeah. So this is our image. Okay. Now we need to convert this image into array. Okay. Because because for training, of course, we need to convert to array. For testing, we need to convert to array because our model don't know, computer don't know. This is an image. We need to give the numbers. Okay. So let's say x is equals to image to array. Keras is a very great library here. It has many features. NumPy dot if you know basic thing, then you know why we need to expand the dimensions. This is equals to 0. Now we need to pre-process it. Like, see, this image has been converted to this. Okay, this image has been converted to this number. Now we will need to pre-process it. Okay, image data is equals to pre-process input x. Okay, and now let's see what pre-processing has done. See the difference. Okay, see the difference. 38, it's a bigger number. Okay, and this was one thing I forgot, I think, that is resizing this image. I really forgot to resize this image. Okay, this target size, yeah. So let me copy, because you know we trained it for 224 by 224, so we have to convert it into this also, target size. Now it's okay, and now see, values has been changed, and we need to pre-process it to make the pixels smaller. Okay, value is gonna be same, but the pixels not. Now classes is equals to model dot predict image data new pred, so is equals to if okay, sorry, we need to define new pred also. New prediction is equals to numpy dot argmax, means, as I told you now, it might say that this image is, let's say, 60% of normal and 40% of corona. So which is maximum? Normal. Okay, so it's gonna show normal. So numpy argmax, which argument is maximum? If it is 1, then print prediction is normal, and here I think see this 0 for corona, and for normal image it's 1. Okay, so if new, it's gonna print that, else is gonna print actually everything is done, and corona. Where is syntax? Where? Oh, I'm sorry. Now what happened? Error will to have shape, but got array with, oh, how? It's impossible. We just ran it, no? We ran it, yeah. Okay, I'm gonna just debug this. Okay, I'm gonna sorry, and yep, normal. It's prediction normal. Let's test this for COVID one. Any image, let's say. Okay. I just needed to change the COVID now. COVID, and Um, let's take this image and it's PNG image. Okay, copy the oh, mm, see, let's try to route this here. The corona. Okay, so everything is done, and that's how you can make your own corona prediction. Okay, if you have any doubt, ask me in the comments. Like this video if you found this video useful. Subscribe, hit the bell icon. Okay, I hope I teach you something good enough, and let's sum this up. You're gonna import the library, you're gonna import data set, you're gonna initialize biases, epochs, learning rate, and you're gonna have the data and labels. See, like this. Okay, data and labels. You can even plot it in the pair, and you're gonna need label binarizer to binarize them. Then you're gonna split into training, testing. You're gonna image data generator. You're gonna generate more data. You're gonna make the CNN model with transfer learning, and then you can even plot them like this, and then you're gonna compile and start the training, and then you can plot them like this with true value and actual value. You can have a classification report with this model.save, and then you can test it by loading the model, and that's how you can test it. Okay, so see you in the next video. Hope you like this. Bye bye.